Yo guys, what is up? 33 and 3rd RPM here, back. I'm not dead. I was just in school. It sounds like the 7th time I've done this on this channel. You know, sorry for not uploading. I really thought I would have more time with school. You know, it started for me a couple weeks ago, but I simply have not, and therefore I haven't posted a lot of record reviews recently, and that really bugs me because I just love doing this. And I really wanted to review all of my Green Day stuff before Revolution Radio comes out. So, what I thought today is, as someone who buys records, occasionally I take a gamble on stuff, you know. Some stuff's not always my favorite, not always, you know, in that range of 7 to 10 out of 10. So, you know, I thought I'd just go over all of the records that I have in between The Clash, London Calling, which is my last album review, and my first Green Day vinyl, which is Insomniac. Shame on me for not having Dookie on vinyl. I'll pick it up one day. Now, there are a couple of albums in here that I really like, so I will, in this section, so I will definitely go back and talk about them longer. But I just thought I'd make a little bit of a longer video today for you guys, in case you missed me, and just talk about some of the stuff I have, you know, because some of these albums I can't talk about for 10 minutes. I simply think they're just kind of eh. But without further ado, let's get into it. Let me just stop. My records are down here below this bookshelf that this thing's sitting on, so if you see me reaching for it, that's what it's for. First record is the Decembrists, What a Beautiful World, What a Terrible World. This is from this is 2015. Wow, I thought this was earlier than that. This is Decembrists are like a kind of a folk rock outfit. They're really popular in 2008. This is their like 5th album, I think, or something. It's a good album. It's not a great album. Singles Philomena and Cavalry Captain and Make You Better are all standouts on here, but you know, there's only 3 sides on here, though it is a double LP. The only really cool thing about this is, let me just show you really quickly. What would be a side D? They do this a couple times for albums. It's like laser engraved. I don't know if you can see that at all. I just seen the reflection of my phone recording. There's a comet, sort of. You can see it's engraved in side D. It's kind of cool. I would have preferred bonus music, but you know, whatever. That's a unique thing to have. It's an album, not great. It kind of gets boring as the second half goes through. Next is Disclosure's sophomore effort, Caracal. I loved their first album. Latch was the song that got me hooked, as it probably did for everybody else because it's still on the radio today. I thought there were a lot of deep cuts off there that were really catchy, and I think there were really talented producers. This album doesn't hold me as much as that last one does. I still think whenever they team up with big names, it comes out really well. The song Omen with Sam Smith, track 2 on here, is my favorite for its thumping bass and Sam Smith's tender but powerful vocals at the same time. Super catchy, superb. You know, track 1 here is with The Weeknd, you know, from songs like The Hills and the Michael Jackson ripoff, Can't Feel My Face. He's on the first track here, which is like 7 minutes long, called Nocturnal. Lord, actually he's been on the radio a couple times recently for this song called Magnets. It's a pretty good song, got a catchy beat. But some of the songs on here are just too long. I feel like it could have been shortened down more, and just don't do it for me as much as the last album did. A cool thing about this album, you know, like with the last album, is it's got this plastic shiny sleeve on there, which kind of makes it look awful in this light. You can't really see anything. But it's really a pain to put on, so I'll not take it out all the way, but like, there's the actual picture, and you can see sort of in this clear part here that it's just a Disclosure Caracal, and then the face is printed over it. And you slide. That's kind of cool, I think. There's the back side. Nothing too interesting on the records or in there. Just, you know, normal stuff. It's an okay album. I'd go for the singles for that one. Drake. Let's briefly talk about Drake. I'm not a fan of Drake. I do not like Drake's music. I do not like Drake's style of rapping. I do not like Drake's singing. However, Take Care is a very solid album, and I will say solid. This is Drake's, I believe, first project from 2011, and I picked it up on a, hey, I've heard good things about this album, maybe I should just go for it and check it out. And while I was disappointed as I've heard great things about this album, I wasn't let down, if that makes sense. There are good songs over here. Over My Dead Body starts it off, songs like Marvin's Room, and then of course the song, excuse me, you know, the tracks on here that are popular for just being party anthems, like HYFR and The Ride and stuff like that, are, you know, is what's going to become Drake's reputation for being a party guy, even though he can be emotional and stuff, and that's, I don't know, it's complicated. That'll be a rant for a different day. The only thing I didn't like about this album is that it doesn't have the motto on here. Now maybe that's just me being like picky, being like, oh, well, I don't even like the song that much, but it's included on every other version except for the vinyl, even when the exclusive songs on here on the bonus edition, like HYFR, are included on here, so I'm like, why just not put the motto on? Like, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. It's a double LP. It's got this picture of Drake smoking a fat one in there. Nothing too special on the records. It's an okay album. Not a big fan of Drake, though, so I may be biased to that. Next is what I picked up for Record Store Day, if you saw my Record Store Day review. That got popular a while ago. This is DOC's No One Can Do It Better. This is a fantastic album. I love this album. This is one of the, original, I think, great rap albums from, when is this? 89, yeah. It produced Dr. Dre's first album he ever produced. It's a masterpiece. It's really a shame what happened to the DOC in his car crash incident because this guy could spit. And what I also appreciate is that he's clean. I mean, there's only a couple songs in here where he brings in guest people that make the songs explicit, but he never feels corny, because he's being clean. He just has that much raw talent. He doesn't need to inject swear words into there. However, when he does bring people on, it's insane. Songs like the grand finale where he gets everybody from NWA to come on, even when DJ Yella is just playing the drums on there, and then you got Ice Cube and Eazy and MC Ren spitting their verses with Dr. Dre, like interjecting between. It's really cool. It's very, very cool. It's also a funky album. You'll see Dre start to use some of the bass lines that'll become prevalent in things like The Chronic with songs like It's Funky Enough, Lend Me an Ear, and even the Beautiful But Deadly, which has this killer guitar riff that almost reminds me of Run DMC. I'll get into this album more in the future. I'll do a separate review on this because this is a great album. If you haven't heard this, pick it up. What's wrong with you? There's the back there, DOC. Awesome album. I'll talk about it a little more. I have Elton John's greatest hits. I have a couple more Elton John albums. I honestly haven't listened to them yet. I just heard, really good things about them. I have Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. I need to sit down and listen to that one day because I know it's a great album. Anyway, it's got all the songs that if you like Elton John, you like on here. I'm sorry for this terrible lighting. I'm just looking at it. This lighting's terrible. It's because of this really bright light right there. I'm sorry. I'm trying to cover it up with my head most of the time. I'm sorry. I'm just doing this quickly. It's a good album. It's got the greatest hits. What else could you want? Your Song, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting, Rockin' Man, Benny and the Jets, Border Song, Crocodile Rock, all the songs you've probably heard by him. They're on here. Good project. Next. Fall Out Boy's American Beauty, American Psycho. I used to love Fall Out Boy, and when I mean love, like, I saw them in concert on my birthday, I have every single one of their albums on CD, they were like my favorite band. So, when I started getting into vinyl and this album came out, it was a no-brainer for me to pick it up, although I was very disappointed. It's not punk Fall Out Boy. Songs on here like American Beauty, American Psycho just feel like a jumbled mess, and stuff like Twin Skeletons, Hotel in NYC, favorite record, and as much as I like Immortals, the beat on it kind of grinds on me a little bit with that kind of weird flute sample. The Kids Aren't Alright, all these songs just didn't hold my attention like past Fall Out Boy deep cuts did. Although the singles on here are pretty catchy. Centuries is overplayed, not too much of a fan of that anymore. I still like Irresistible. I still like Immortals despite it, being, that beat being a little off kilter for me. And Uma Thurman is a solid enough song with a pretty good use of sampling. That is one thing about this album. It samples lots of stuff very well. Fall Out Boy has sampled even some hip-hop stuff in the past, so it's cool to see them kind of evolve and sample more stuff with this album. It's an okay album. I'd get this on CD, not vinyl. I don't think you need to spend that much for it. But if you're a Fall Out Boy fan, it's definitely worth a listen. And it got this like blue cover on the inside. It's only a single record, even though it's in a gatefold, whatever. I like gatefolds. This is a great album. Okay, so, when was this? I want to say this is last year, right? 2015. Every music channel that I watch is covering this album. I thought I'd have to go out here and pick this up right now. I was not disappointed. This is Father John Misty's I Love You, Honey Bear. I am not a folk fan at all. I only have a couple folk records, but I love this album. He is so witty and sarcastic with his lyrics. Josh Tillman just creates this masterpiece of a record with these soaring melodies and catchy hooks and him just being hilarious. I laughed out loud in this album. I haven't done that since like the last time I listened to a Steve Martin record. This is an amazing album. I will talk about this more because I can't do it justice in the short time that I'm going to talk about this. Just trust me. Yeah, if you haven't gone and listened to this, what is wrong with you? This is, in my eyes, a modern classic. Oh, this is a good album. This is the Fugees, The Score. You may know the Fugees from their, lead singer, frontman, rap extraordinaire, Lauryn Hill. She kills this. Wyclef Jean is also on here, member of this group. This is a classic 90s album. It combines elements of R&B and rap to make a really overall solid project. I'll probably talk about this one a little bit more, so I'll say that for another time. Okay, 2 and 1. Foster the People. Foster the People, Torches. I love this album. Let me bring it back. I like this album a fair bit. Hell on a Beat is a cool song. Call It What You Want, Don't Stop Car on the Walls have catchy hooks. Songs like Life on the Nickel and Houdini I also like. There are a couple songs like Great on Me, like Pumped Up Kicks and I Would Do Anything For You, and even like Miss You and Waste, but I still think this is an overall solid project. So obviously I was like, well, I gotta pick out their next one, which is Supermodel. Sorry. It doesn't have as many good songs as the first one, but the songs in here that are good, they hit their mark. Foster the People really do have a knack for writing hooks, and that's because their lead man, Mark Foster, actually used to write jingles for products, so it's no surprise that he should be good at that. Songs like Are You What You Want to Be, Coming of Age, and Pseudologica Fantastica, I think I'm saying that right, are all really cool, really catchy songs. My only problem with this album is that it kind of gets a little out there sometimes. Maybe that's just not my type of music. I don't know. It was great. It wasn't great. It wasn't as great as the last album. It was passable though. The songs that were good enough. This is also another one of my favorite albums. George Ezra's Wanted on Voyage. I'm not even going to talk about this, just like with Father John Misty, because this is a fantastic project. I love almost every single song on here. I had to pick this up on vinyl. This was a no-brainer. Every single song that was released as a single on here, I absolutely love. Songs like Blame It On Me, Budapest, Casio, Barcelona, Listen to the Man, and Did You Hear the Rain are all just powerhouses of, once again, folk rock. I don't know why I just like recent folk rock so much. If you've only heard Barcelona and you thought, Budapest, and you're like, oh, it's a catchy song, go check this album out because you will not be disappointed. George Ezra, I think, is a force to be reckoned with in modern folk rock, and this album just shows why. This is a fantastic album. I'll talk about this one more. Alright, last album before we get to Green Day. People are going to probably call me out for this, but I got it from my aunt as a gift. This is the Grease soundtrack. Now you're probably thinking, 33 and a third RPM. Why do you listen to this? Like, you listen to all this other stuff. Why would you bother with this? Because it's catchy as all heck. Don't judge me, okay? This is a great album. I'm a sucker for musicals if they're done well. Heck, I even have the Hamilton soundtrack on vinyl. One day I'll get to that. What can I say? I'm just a sucker for catchy show tunes. It's been a thing of my childhood, so I had to pick it up on vinyl so I could occasionally listen to it. It's a fun project. It's a fun collection of songs. Alright. So that's my brief, lightning, blistering pace review. I'm sorry if I, said something you didn't like about an album that I was here, or you want to hear me talk about and talk, words are hard, talk more about an album in here. Don't worry, the ones I mentioned I definitely will be talking about. But next review, look forward to Insomniac on vinyl by Green Day. I really want to start reviewing my Green Day records before Revolution Radio comes out. I'm going to see Green Day on the 29th of this month. I am so excited. They're one of my favorite bands, and I just can't wait. I'll let you know how the concert goes. I'm super pumped. But yeah, if you watched all the way to this end, props for listening to me ramble and spew. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Let me know what you thought of any of those albums in the comments below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching and being patient with me as I struggle through the monotonous slug that is high school. Until the next video, I am 33 and a third RPM. Keep on spinning, guys.